for the time being, as things stand, our triggers and our judgments have control of us. They have such control of us that we can't even really talk about them openly. We're ashamed of our judgments of each other and the ways that other people trigger us. We're upset. It upsets us. We feel guilty when we have to correct someone for the way they made us feel. And we feel guilty when we're upset with someone, when we're annoyed, and we want to tell them to act differently. But the first step is to say, it's okay if I annoy people because I don't care what people think. That's an important way to feel. And it's okay if people annoy me because they don't care what I think. It's also an important way for them to feel. And that's the kind of independence that we break free of the need to people please. And we spend some of our life that way, being independent and not caring what other people think, doing our own thing. And we encourage everyone to experience that, to have a taste of that in life. Then we might realize that actually that's limiting us. Because if we can't hear judgment from other people, then that must mean our self-esteem is quite fragile. And maybe in addition to that, we're not benefiting from others' judgments and others' perspectives on our lives. And so there is a way that we can first move into independence where we don't care what people think about us. And then once we're doing that, once we're self-authoring to the point where we feel comfortable that, yeah, this is my life, I don't have anything to prove to anyone, then we can actually start to tolerate and maybe even welcome and even be grateful for others' judgments of us, especially if those people have learned how to do it in a way that's not violent or hostile or aggressive or condescending. And we can be part of their learning process. We can have the discussion about, don't you want to receive more feedback? And wouldn't it be nice if you were surrounded by people who knew how to give feedback that was helpful and empowering without being critical and condescending? I agree. Would you be such a person for me? Would you be willing to learn to be such a person who could criticize me without being condescending and let me share my vulnerability with you without being attacked or being dismissed or condescended to? And in just such a simple conversation, we can really start to expand our own ability to judge without attacking and to give notes and edits to the book of someone else's life, and to learn how confident we are about our own writing, the book of our own life that we are writing. And I think it could be said that the more confident you are having editors, having an audience, having people watching you and commenting on your book or on your life, the more confident or less you have to hide in a way, at least among that community. And so if I don't want people to watch my life, if I don't want people to comment or approve or disapprove, if I say, well, I don't get to comment on anyone else's life and they don't get to comment on mine, well, that's good. That's a good place to start. I don't care what anyone thinks. They shouldn't care what I think. Okay, that's a good start. But it's a little antisocial. It's a little selfish. It's independent, and that's good. But ultimately, I can certainly see a life in which other people's judgments of me meant a lot to me. And I cared about the experience they have when they're around me. And I want to make it a better experience, just like I want them to make my experience better when I'm around them. It's not fake. It's actually quite loving and quite optimistic about how good life can be. If I could be a person who people love having around because they can be themselves around me and not feel attacked and diminished, and if other people around me, if I could be myself around them and not feel attacked and diminished, if they could tell me what they thought of me and I could tell them what they thought of them, and that process actually led to our growth rather than having our egos bruised, both because they know how to say it and I know how to receive it, and I know how to say it and they know how to receive it. That to me sounds like heaven. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great journey that we take together.